Hello and welcome to Football Everyday in conjunction, of course, with the 2014 FIFA World Cup that's currently happening in Brazil. My name's Nelson. Joining me today, Daryl Goh and Brian Martin, as well as a very special guest, Min from Red FM. Hi, Min. Good to see you.
Hi.
Thanks for joining us today.
Here.
I know you've been watching a lot of football. So,
yes, I know, and my body clock is like all over the place.
Yeah. So thanks for taking the time to be here. Very quickly, before we get into the football stuff, who do you support? Who are you supporting in this World Cup?
I'm a big Argentina fan. I've been
Hey,
supporting
that's the
them for
team,
a long time since I was in high school, and also England, but unfortunately they're not in running.
England fans.
Yeah, England
right
fans.
here as well. Well, speaking of which, we will talk about England a bit later on. I tell you what, in Group B this morning, Spain restored some pride with a relatively comfortable 3-0 win over Australia, Brian, with goals from Villa, Torres and Mata. Vicente del Bosque says that no major revamp is needed, Brian. So, would you agree with that assessment? I mean, especially when teams are now so familiar with the way Spain play, actually.
Actually, Nelson, I think he's going to be the revamp. I think he's going to be removed.
That's what a lot of people have been saying, that he should have been removed after 3 successive tournaments, right?
And apparently, that was his last goal for Spain. You know, he's now the record goal scorer for Spain, and he's going to announce his retirement from international football.
Yeah. I mean, Daryl, would you agree with Brian's verdict on Spain?
It has to be a total revamp for the whole Spanish setup. I mean, like it's kind of a total disaster. And watching the game yesterday, I mean, like David Villa was kissing the badge. I felt sad for him. That'll be his end. Fantastic player, and he had to bow out like that. But I have no.
Torres scored.
I wasn't interested in Torres at all.
Yeah. I mean, but many have said that Villa should have played in the opening games, Brian. But
I mean, if you look at Del Bosque, he went with a tried and trusted. So, I mean, it didn't work out. I think Spain have to go back and
back
from
to the
the
drawing board
tiki-taka days, look at something different.
All right, okay. Well, in the other Group B match, Holland edged Chile by 2-0 to finish top of the group. Now, Brian, Chile started off really well, but didn't create too many clear-cut chances. And I tell you what, they were in the end punished for not making their possession count.
Yeah, 2 late goals by the Dutch. If you look at the game, really too close to call. Could have gone either way. One thing was obvious: the Dutch were missing Robin van Persie. They lacked a cutting edge up front. You know, Robin was making all those clever runs.
But he was a big supporter in the stands.
Yeah, he was supporting in the stands. So when Persie comes back for the second round, Dutch are going to be a really force to be reckoned with.
I think Robin's also playing a really good game. So.
Yeah, he's been having a great World Cup.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, it's correct. I mean, Robin's smiling all the time throughout the game.
That's a surprise.
He's not sulking. He's like, pumped up.
I mean, he's coming to United.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, I mean, very quickly, how would you rate the Dutch so far? And tell you what, their chances against Mexico, who are to come now in the last 16, right?
Well, this Chile game also showed that basically that this is kind of like the Dutch thing we don't like to see. You know, I mean, the first 2 games were fantastic Dutch performances. This one basically had some sort of defensive steel to them.
Made a couple of changes to the team.
It's kind of like boring in some instances, and Chile were unlucky, but Louis van Gaal, I mean, 2 inspired substitutions and 2 goals.
Alright, so we'll see what happens in that one. Okay, speaking of which, over in Group A, Mexico overcame Croatia by 3-1 to steal their passage into the knockout stage. So deserved result and progression for the Mexicans, Brian?
Definitely. Mexico deserved to be in the World Cup, and they deserved to go into the next stage. I was particularly pleased that Chicharito scored. You know, he was the first choice striker for Mexico for the last World Cup, and even the Copa Libertadores. And the fact that he started as a sub and scored, you know, I think he's going to give a selection problem to the Mexican coach.
I mean, all right. And very quickly, the hosts Brazil quite easily saw off Cameroon by a 4-1 scoreline to top Group A. Neymar had 2 goals and looks to be on fire. And against Chile in the next round, Daryl, it's going to be mouth-watering, right?
I mean, it wasn't much of a surprise. I mean, I think the only disappointment for me was, I mean, the Cameroonians basically really had the most horrible World Cup ever. And I mean, Brazil just had to step onto the field of 3 points already.
I mean, very quickly, I mean, I support Argentina as well, but your take on Brazil, I mean, the hosts and Neymar so far?
They're playing a good game. It's just that, you know, they're not that consistent. That's what I think. And hopefully, but Chile's playing really well. So you know, you never know what
it's going to be exciting,
yeah.
right? Right, tell you what, it is time now for a quick break here on the show. So we'll see you real soon in a bit on Football Everyday. Welcome back to Football Every Day here on the second segment of the show where we preview tomorrow morning's matches, and we're going to start the previews with the England versus Costa Rica game, right? But to set us nicely into that, all right, we have some footage of a press conference featuring Roy Hodgson and his current assessment on the England team, right? So check this out.
There's a lot of work to be done, but I also think that we're on a good path. I can see a lot of possibility for this team and these players to improve and become better, and I'm very pleased that I'm going to be the man leading them.
Wow, I'm not so sure Hodgson is right there, Brian. What do you think? I mean, he says England are on the right track.
Did he have some weed or something before the press conference? It's a total surprise. I mean, the only surprise is if England get something out of the Costa Rica game, because I honestly don't think they would. Even though Costa Rica have got nothing to play for, if you look at it, they've already qualified. If Italy do their job against who are Italy playing against Uruguay, they could end up as the runners-up, and they may not want that. Looking at the who they're going to face in the second round, so England, I don't think will get anything out of this game.
I mean, you're an England fan as well. So at midnight tonight, surprise package Costa Rica. We know take on England, who need a win more for pride, right? But on current form and morale at an all-time low, how would you
I don't know, maybe
assess the current England
now
team?
England they already know they're out of it. So maybe they're playing with no pressure, so they could actually perform. You might never know. Yeah, and Costa Rica is also not going to put most of their star players out because they're already in it. So
I mean, that's what I was saying as well there, that the pressure's off now, and England might just put in 3 or 4-0 performance.
Yeah, they might actually surprise you. You never know.
Yeah, I mean, but do you see that happening there?
I see Joel Campbell getting at least 2 goals.
Would you start with Gerrard?
He dropped Gerrard anyway. Lampard's in, and
Lampard's in, right,
all the
okay.
young. I mean, even Rooney's not starting this game. So maybe looking at, I would really say Costa Rica has the edge.
For good measure, give me a score prediction.
3-1 Costa Rica.
I want a score prediction of 3 England
1-1.
Yeah, I'll go with a draw as well. Yeah.
3-1 to who?
Costa Rica.
Another upset on the cards. All right, moving on. Well, the other Group D match sees Italy square off against Uruguay in a winner-takes-all match. So who do you see having the edge in this one, Brian?
See, the Italians in the past have been renowned for being masters of playing for a draw. And we look at this game, all they need is a draw. A draw will put them through to the next round. But Uruguay have got Luis Suarez, and that's a big plus point. So I think this game is they're gonna have goals in this game. There's gonna be red cards in this game. And I honestly think Uruguay will qualify.
I mean, you're a Suarez fan, I believe,
Yes,
as
I'm
well.
a big Suarez fan.
So how do you see this one panning out? I mean, look, before the England game, right, Uruguay coach Oscar Tabarez said that Suarez wasn't 100% fit. But if a half-fit Suarez
Scored 2 goals.
scored 2 goals against England, what can he do? What can a fully fit Suarez do against
we were just
Italy?
saying, it's Luis Suarez against the world. So, he might just actually put Uruguay through.
Yeah.
So who do you see edging this one?
Italy is a more experienced team, of course, but I'm just hoping, Suarez is gonna pull some.
Do the business.
Yeah, do his thing, and Uruguay will be through. Yeah.
There?
I mean, we're looking if Italy goes out again, it'll be the second time in the 2 World Cups they go out in the group stage. So it'll be total disaster for Italy also. I mean, they put themselves in this really, really bad situation, and I feel it's a 1-1 draw for it.
Which would be good enough for Italy to go
Italy.
through. Alright, so we'll see what happens in that one. Now, over in Group C, guys, already qualified Colombia faced Japan, who need nothing less than 3 points, and maybe hope Greece do something against the Ivory Coast. So this looks a daunting task, right, Brian? Because they should have beaten Greece.
Actually, we look at this group, even Greece can qualify with a win, and if results go their way. So all to play for in these 2 matches. But yeah, I'm hoping that the Blue Samurai pull something out of the bag, simply because Colombia have already qualified. It's not going to be easy. Japan have had 2 bad games in this World Cup. They haven't really shown what they're capable of.
Against the Colombians, I mean, who themselves are playing with great confidence at the moment, even without star striker Falcao. I mean, it's not going to be easy, right?
Colombia may not even require a draw to progress as champions because of the superior goal difference. So even a defeat, like Min said, they may rest even some players for this game.
Even a defeat might see them top the group, right? All right, and in the other game, as mentioned, the Ivorians tackled the Greeks there also. How do you see that one panning out?
I mean, let's see Greece with 11 men. So who can do with it?
You know, Daryl, Greece has been the most defense-minded team in this World Cup. I think they deserve to go out.
Yeah,
honestly.
I mean, together with Cameroon, right? I mean, the Greeks have been poor. I mean, a quick take on this group, Group C, I believe. You know, Colombia, Japan, Ivory Coast, and Greece. Anyone caught your eye so far?
Of course, Colombia's true. But I'm really hoping that our Asian champions can at least, go through, because it'd be nice to see an Asian team. Right now, I think we're relying on Iran in the next few matches, but I would hope
Korea's not doing too well as well.
Exactly. So an Asian team would be great.
Okay.
All right. Okay. Well, I'll tell you what. So we'll see what happens tonight. And now, before we bid you goodbye, do remember that of course we're running a selfie contest with Adidas Battle Pack footwear, as well as some sold-out vouchers to be given away. Right. And today we've got 3 entries, I believe, from Dilraj Singh as well as Manroshan Singh. So these are the selfies that they submitted. Thank you very much, guys. We'll let you know if you're a winner or not. And I'll tell you what, if you want to take part as well, do send us your most creative video or photo selfies to football@thestar.com.my or via Twitter @switchup.tv. Do, of course, remember to include your full name, IC number, and contact number so we can get in touch, all right? Daryl, Brian, Min, thank you very much for coming on the show.
Thank you so much.
Pleasure it's been. I think they had fun as well.
Yep.
So we'll see what happens tonight. Do enjoy your football, and we'll see you real soon.